I'm talking to Leighann Lord, comedian, author. You can find her at veryfunnylady.com, on Twitter at Leighann Lord. Okay, so you mentioned you're a self-professed nerd, and I am one as well. So honestly, one of the coolest things I learned about you is you actually have a relationship with none other than the king of the nerds, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
Is he as cool as he is? Like, he seems like the coolest man on the planet in like the nerdiest way. In real life, like just when you're seeing, is he really that? Is he the same, or is he a little different?
I really hate to tell you this. He is exactly as he seems.
Ooh, that's amazing. Oh, that makes me really happy.
Really, and that is like one of the number one questions that people ask me. Like, oh my God, is he really that cool? Yeah, he really is that cool. Now, mind you, I've only known him for about 4 years now, and I think within 4 years, who you are kind of creeps out.
Yeah.
But no, he is that big of a personality. Warm, kind, funny, generous. When he walks in the room, he's in the room,
Right.
in sort of a wonderful way. And he really does love sharing information and explaining things. And what surprised me, and it's kind of how we met, he has this love of comedy, this love of and appreciation for. And if you're a performer and you've ever watched him talk or appear on any shows, his timing and his presence, you can tell he has an appreciation. For the form. He gets it in a very appreciative and technical way.
Yeah, it's almost it's unfair that someone that smart could also be that funny too.
I know.
It's like, oh man, you're like the smartest person on the planet Earth, and you're like hysterical. I mean, it's good because I want the world to care about science, and I want the stuff that he talks about to like be known, and I want it better. But it's also just like, man, that's just unfair. It's like you're a genius. And you're unbelievably funny. You have great delivery and really, really good timing. It's pretty amazing.
And charismatic. And I'll chime in for the women in the audience. Yeah, kind of uber sexy.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's not underestimate that.
No, the guy's hot. Let's be clear. Seriously, like I friggin' like he just had the Cosmos reboot, and those shows were so funny. It just like him riding around on a spaceship is so entertaining. I'm just dying of him, and it's like here he is on a spaceship, just being in like the cheesiest setting, but he still like comes off as like the coolest guy on the planet while he's like on the spaceship of the imagination.
Yeah,
it was so
yes, that is the ship of the imagination, sir. So
exactly.
Let's have a little respect.
Right. Well, so talk about the project you've done with him in the past, and I think I believe if I'm correct, you're involved with something. You're going to be doing something with him in the future as well. Am I right about that?
Yeah, he has a regular podcast among the million jillion things that he does. He has a regular podcast called Star Talk Radio. And in his vision, it was sort of the intersection of science and pop culture. It's where he wanted those two things to meet. And he has, there's several comedians who are co-hosts for him. There's me and Chuck Nice and Eugene Merman. And because he wants to keep the show fun and interesting, and he doesn't want it to get too technical, sciencey, where people's noses start bleeding. So that's why we're there. And I think I'm there in particular because whenever we're in the studio together and he's explaining a concept, he can tell how well it's coming across by the look on my face. So the less confused I start to look, the better the explanation is. Because I freely admit science was not my forte. Chemistry made me cry. That sort of thing. So I actually am learning a lot by being on the show and never being afraid to go, Neil, what are you talking about? It's
like if your eyes are glassing over, it's like, all right, I'm not doing my job here. Right, I need to try to talk about this a different way.
I really am sort of that barometer for him. It's very funny. So yeah, I've been doing Star Talk with him, and now one of the segments that I do with him more regularly is called Cosmic Queries, which is where fans and regular listeners of the show email and by social media send in their questions around a certain topic. So we'll do gravity or astrophysics, very specific questions, and people will answer or ask those burning questions that they've always wanted to ask an astrophysicist. And it's funny to me because even the questions sometimes baffle me. It's like, wow, these people are smart. I think they already know the answer. But Star Talk, I mean, it started, terrestrial radio, podcast, and then terrestrial radio. He has Star Talk Live that he does with some of the bigger names like him and Bill Nye will go out. And now it's going to Nat Geo in April. Very, very shortly. And it's sort of like a late night science pop culture talk show, which is like, wow, in America?
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd live to see this. And I did. Yeah, he it's almost the same format. He'll have, one of his co-hosts and then a guest, and so much fun. They brought me in to do the Star Trek episode because they know I'm an insane Star Trek fan. Ooh. And our guest, well, they did a pre-tape with George Takei, which was
nice.
so awesome. I mean, I knew he was cool. I didn't realize how cool.